welcome to Yoga for Life. We have probably 2 to 3 minutes before we really get going today. So you might have seen in the class announcements below, if you're watching this on our Facebook feed, that as of November 15th, that will be our last live class here on Monday evenings on our Facebook page. I'm going to take the holiday season off to kind of regroup, reset the space, and then I will be posting classes to the YouTube channel exclusively starting in the new year. I'll drop that link below after class, but that's kind of the big announcement. Wanted to share that with you guys as we get set up here. So sorry for the weird curtains. I was playing around this weekend and thought I'd have time to swap them back and misjudged that time. So we're just gonna roll with it as it is. So still probably another minute or so before we get going. You can use this time to come into the space, to grab your props if you like to incorporate those in, or to just kind of calm the mind. So it's getting to be about that time. So as you get your mat rolled out and start to get settled in, lower down onto your back. Rest the head and the shoulders. And we'll begin supine today. So this may mean legs are bent and resting on one another. You may extend the legs out. Maybe you have a mix, really whatever serves you. A spot where you can settle in. Rest the spine. And focus on the breath. Feel the rise and fall of the body, matching that inhale and exhale. Use the exhale to soften the body a bit, to let go of that surface level tension. Start to find that calm. Begin to build the breath. Deepen the inhale. Lengthen the exhale. Match the inhale to the exhale. So you have a nice rhythm of breath. And as you center the breath, then calm the body, invite the mind into the practice as well. Feel the ground beneath you, the air around you as you let the thoughts of the day float away. Focus only on the here and the now. And if the thoughts jump away, that's all right. Just gently draw them back. Continual practice throughout our practice. As we take a few more rounds of breath here, centering in, if you'd like to take a moment and set an intention for class, I welcome you to do so. Whatever's on your heart today, Maybe it's a feeling of self-worth, compassion, thanks, whatever's on your heart. Check in. Keep yourself present as you bring the feet onto the mat. Set them about hip-width distance apart. And maybe drum out the toes just for a moment. Feel the mat beneath you, that connection down. Low back connects. And we'll draw the right knee in. Start to draw circles with the right ankle. You can start left or right, maybe mixing it up as you go. Just loosening the joint, wiggling the toes. We'll find stillness with the foot. Give the knee a little squeeze. Release it up to 90. And start to lower and lift the foot. Just to move the knee. The foot won't connect down to the mat. And it doesn't have to extend up fully. Feel the muscles of the thigh. Check in with the hamstring. And on your next extension up, we'll press through the heel. Again, you can keep a little bend at that knee. Sole of the foot shines up. Stretch the calf, the back of the leg. And then point the toes, opening the top of the foot, stretching through the shin. Point and flex a little bit, loosen the ankle and the foot. And then with control, we'll draw the right foot back down to the mat, setting it next to the left. Take a breath. Draw the left knee in. Doesn't have to be super close to the body. Keep the shoulders resting on the mat. And we'll invite those circles in on the left side. Again, mix up your direction. Mindful of how the ankle's feeling, embracing any little creaks or cracks. Breath remains steady. Find stillness with the foot as you give the knee a little squeeze. Bring it up to 90 and lower and lift the foot. I like to leave my hand connected to the thigh, just a nice way to check in. But if that's not serving you, you could have hands down on the mat beside you or on the belly. To feel the breath. Move at your own pace here. Check in with the knee. And on your next extension up, press through the heel. Scan all the way from the hip, out through the sole of the foot. Point the toes. Draw the awareness down the front of the leg. And then loosen that ankle, little point and flex. Before lowering it down. Left foot connects, we'll draw both knees in. Hold on to right knee with right hand, left knee with left hand. Start to draw little circles. Taking the knees out and away from one another and gently back together. Notice the little massage between the low back and the mat. And reverse direction. We'll find stillness at center. Hold on to the knees. We'll gently draw the nose up toward the knees. Lower down. Take peace fingers behind the knees. Start to rock along the length of the spine and use that momentum to draw you up. Coming to a nice seated place. Sit bones connected down. Feet about hip width distance apart. We'll sit up tall, lean back. Feel that engagement through the core, the strength of your back body. We'll lift the left foot up, shin parallel to the mat, and then the right. Hands can stay here behind the legs, or you could reach them out, taking a boat pose for just a breath. Lower down, we'll go ahead and cross the legs, rotate over, coming into a tabletop position. So sit up in the middle of the mat, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, spine is long. Keep awareness on the spine as you inhale and lower the belly. Exhale and arch the back. Inhale, lower, draw the gaze forward. Exhale, round, gaze comes in. Move at your own pace here, connecting the movement with the breath, holding wherever you need to. We'll take one more full round before meeting at our neutral spine. Take the hands forward, a handprint each. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Start to grip the mat, set the arms, curl the toes. Feel that foundation. When you're ready, peel the knees up and shift the hips back. A down dog. Our first down dog of the class, so we might want to explore a bit. See how the legs are feeling, the hips, the shoulders. Keep that connection to your foundation. Find stillness. Draw the gaze forward and gently walk the feet toward the hands as you make your way to a forward fold. Head hangs heavy. Gravity lengthens the spine. Relax the shoulders. Maybe soften the knees. Notice if you're sitting back on the heels, and if you are, let the hips shift forward slightly so that the weight is sitting in the front half of each foot, though the full foot stays connected to the mat. We'll start to lower the hips, bend the knees, belly to thighs, root down into all four corners of the feet, And gently rise up. Building to Tadasana. Stack head over heart. Arms hang at our side, palms forward. Strong mountains. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice big inhale as we reach. Exhale to heart. Inhale up. Take the exhale all the way down. Journey back to your forward fold. We'll invite in a little movement here, taking the hands to the right and then the left. If you're hanging in ragdoll, you could just sway a little bit side to side here. Keep the hips and the knees soft while you invite in this movement. Start to slow it down. Return to center. Lower the hips. Root into the feet. And rise up. Take a breath at the top. Inhale the arms. Big exhale takes us down. On an inhale, we'll come to half lift, that nice flat back, 7 shape. Hands can go to shins or thighs or airplane. Exhale as you release. We'll plant the hands, slide the right toes back. Lower that knee as we come to low lunge. So we want to stack the left knee over the ankle or a little bit behind it as we let the hips settle forward. A nice stretch through the front of the right leg, through that hip. Press into the right toes. If you've uncurled that foot, recurl it. We'll engage that leg as we lift off of the knee. Plant the hands, step the right toes back, high plank. Take 1 breath here. Bring the right foot forward as we swap sides. Left knee will lower. Finding low lunge, opposite leg. So take a moment here as you find your foundation, that nice bone stack for the left side, feeling that foot connected down, the body centered. And then draw awareness to the hips. The exhale helping you surrender a little deeper. And keep the gaze down at the mat, or maybe draw it forward a bit. We'll start to lift, curl the left toes, energy into that leg as we come off of the knee. Plant the hands, step the right toes back. High plank, you can lower to the knees here if you like. We'll keep the elbows tight to the body as we come through chaturanga to the belly. Uncurl the toes, inhale up, maybe a baby cobra to start. The back is feeling warm already, you could lift a little higher. Exhale as we release. We'll take a breath. And inhale back up to that cobra. Maybe it's baby cobra, just chin and collarbone lifting. Maybe you put a little weight into the hands, drawing up a rib or two. Be mindful of the back. Exhale as you release. Curl the toes, press into the hands. We'll take the hips up and back, down dog. If the hamstrings are feeling really tight today, you can take that generous bend in both knees, always available. A nice modification. On an inhale, look forward. Exhale as you bring the feet toward the hands. Forward fold. Engage the back as you inhale up to half lift. Exhale, release. Big inhale draws us up. We'll reach tall. And exhale, hands to heart center. Nice big inhale to reach. Exhale to forward fold. Move mindfully. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, step the right toes back. Plant that foot at about 45. Start to bend the left knee as you lift up. Square the hips to the front of the mat. Draw the arms up. Warrior one. Let the shoulders settle away from the ears. The palms shine toward one another. On an exhale, let the hands come down. We'll interlace them behind the back. Draw the knuckles down. Feel that openness through the heart. And you could stay right here if you like. Or if you prefer, we'll start to take left shoulder toward left knee, humble warrior. The belly may come to rest on the thigh. You may float inside. I like to stay somewhere centered in between. Both feet connected down. Solid in our foundation. We'll press into the left foot as we lift up. Let go of the hands. See if you can come onto the ball of the right foot. Nice work. Lower the hands. Step the left foot back. Shift the hips up and back. Down dog. Inhale to look toward the hands. Exhale as you walk the feet and find forward fold. Inhale up to half lift. Exhale as you fold. Big inhale draws us up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Big inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, left foot steps back. Find that 45. Make any little adjustments you need to as you bend the left knee. Rise up to find your warrior one. Each side may be a little different, so really check in. See how the body is feeling here. Let the weight be evenly distributed between the two legs. And then draw the arms up, finding that victorious posture, a little lift of the heart. A great moment to reconnect with that intention that you set for class. You can keep the arms pretty soft here. They don't have to be super straight, maybe a little bend at the elbows. On on your exhale, release the hands down, interlace them behind you. Find that open heart. Shoulder blades come closer together. Breath remains steady. And again, you can stay right here. Or you could start to lean forward nice and controlled as we come to humble warrior. And you don't have to fold forward super far. You could stay pretty upright. You could travel well beyond this point. Be mindful of how your body is feeling. Feeling strong and stable. We'll press into the left foot as we lift up. Release the hands. Keep the core engaged as you rotate onto the ball of the left foot. Lower the hands to the mat. Strong foundation as you step the left or right toes back. Shift the hips. Find down dog. This time we'll walk the hands toward the feet and find forward fold. Lower the hips, belly to thighs, root down, and gently rise up. We'll prepare for our balance posture today. We're going to do our 3-part awkward series, which is great for our ankles and feet, a nice stability and balance pose, even though both feet are down. So to start, set the feet about hip width distance apart. Good double check is 2 fists between the feet, roughly your hips. Toes are mostly forward. Stand up tall, maybe a little tuck of the chin. Find Tadasana. And as you focus forward, find a drishti, a non-moving focal point. Something that helps you block out what's going on around you and stay centered. We'll draw the arms up, palms down, and then simply sit back. So it's like you're finding a chair. Tuck the tailbone down here. Most of the weight is in the heels. You could drum out the toes a little bit, but try to keep them connected to the mat. Lift up, leave the arms where they are as you come up onto the balls of the feet. Sit back like you're finding that bar stool. Keep focused on your drishti, and you can tap a heel down anytime you need to. Really grip the mat with the toes. Checking in with the legs. Stable and strong. Inhale as you lift up. We'll release the heels down, drop the arms for a moment. We'll turn the toes in as we prepare for our 3rd part of the series. It's our toe stand. So if at any point your toes, feet, ankles, knees, hips say, I'm good here, no thank you, just stop where you're at and know that you have places to grow on other days. So when you turn the toes together, they may touch, they may not. Every body is a little different. Stand up tall as we draw the arms back up. Nice flat back as we start to slide down. The legs will come together, press them together, use that strength. And again, stop at any point. The lower you go, let the heels just lift up. Maybe you come into a toe stand. Your drishti will move as you lower. When you find your stopping point, focus in. That connection to your foundation. Aware of how the body is feeling. Keep the breath steady. On an inhale, see if you can keep the heels lifted. Rise up and release. Nice work. Shake out the feet. You can give them a little wiggle. We'll meet back toward the front of our mat for a sun B. So we'll move toes together, heels together. Stand up tall. Find that Tadasana. On an inhale, we'll lower the hips and lift the arms, chair pose. So we'll move through this first time a little slower, checking in. As we move to chair, if arms up doesn't serve you, you can take hands to heart center. And if toes together, heels together is making you feel a little too wobbly today, you could take this at hip width distance as well with the feet. On an exhale, release the hands as you lift the hips, forward fold. Strong back as you inhale up to half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, step the left foot back. Plant it at 45. Inhale up. Warrior one. I think I messed it up already. We're going to roll with it. Exhale as you lower the hands down. Rotate onto the ball of that foot. We'll step the right toes back. We're going to mix it up and restart. Shift hips, high down dog, just to balance out that. We'll bring the hips forward. Find that high plank. Step the left foot forward, drop the right foot to 45, inhale up. We'll balance out our warrior ones. On an exhale, release down. Give yourself a little shift and bring the right foot forward, forward fold. Gently roll up and back to Tadasana. All right, so we got a little extra warrior action in there. We'll bring the heels together, toes together once more. Let's try this again. Sun B. Inhale to chair. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, step both feet back. Find your high plank, lower through chaturanga to the belly. Inhale up to your cobra. Exhale to down dog. Here's where we'll mix it up. From your down dog, root into the left foot, draw the right toes up. Gently bring the right foot forward. Drop that back foot to 45. Inhale to warrior one. Make any little adjustments you need to here. Exhale as you bring the hands to the mat. Plant them, step the right toes back, lower down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to down dog. Find your foundation, right toes root down, left toes reach tall. And then gently find their way toward the front of the mat. Back foot drops to 45. We inhale up, warrior one. Find your breath. On an exhale, bring the hands down, frame the foot, step the left toes back, strong arms as we lower down. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale to down dog. We'll take a few breaths here. Inhale as you look toward the hands. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to chair, lower the hips, lift the arms and the heart. Exhale as we rise, hands to heart. Wrapping it up. All right, that was a better sun bee. Oh. So let's try that once more. We'll move to our breath pace. Those vinyasas between our warriors can be optional. If you don't want to do them, you could just shift back and take your down dog for a few extra breaths. So find your starting place. Center in. Inhale to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, step it back. Lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Root into the left toes, draw the right foot up. Exhale as you bring it forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. Plant the hands, step it back. Optional vinyasa. Find your flow. Meet it down dog. Root into the right toes, draw the left foot up. Exhale it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, release. Step it back. Optional vinyasa. We'll take a few rounds of breath here at down dog. Inhale the gaze forward. Exhale the feet to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale up. Nice work. So we'll use the vinyasa to help us journey down to the mat. So you can take that toes together, heels together, or feet hip width distance apart. Big inhale as we reach the arms. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Step it back. Lower down. Use the triceps. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lower the knees, uncurl the toes, hips to heels, child's pose. Soften the arms. Let the hips journey a little closer to the heels. You could create a little extra space for the body by taking the knees wide to the edges of the mat, toes staying near one another. Recenter. Notice the heat that you've cultivated, the strength of the body. Start to walk the hands toward the knees as you lift up. Rotate onto a hip, then swing the legs forward. We'll set both feet out in front of us, about hip width distance. Sit bones connect down. Spine as long as we inhale the arms up. Exhale to Paschimottanasana. Hands can grab feet, ankles, the mat, whatever is serving you today. Maybe a little micro bend at the knees feels good today. Be mindful of the low back, whatever variation of the shape you take. Inhale up. Draw the right knee in. You can plant that foot inside of the extended leg, or you could journey it over. See how the hips are feeling. Sit up tall. Draw the right hand around behind you as you hug the bent knee with the left arm. Soften the hips here as you come into your twists. Keep sitting tall. Try not to crank through the shoulders. And on an exhale, we'll unwind. Take a little counter stretch to the opposite side. We'll come back to center as we unwrap and swap the legs. Right leg goes long, left leg tucks in. Again, you have those options. Check to see how this hip is feeling. It might be different. Find your length and then your rotation. If you don't want to hug the bent knee, you could take elbow to the outside of the knee as well. And if you feel yourself leaning back, draw that supporting hand behind you a little closer to the body. It can help keep the spine long. Maybe the eyes journey farther behind you. We go for incremental change here in our twist. So step by step, checking in. Find your expression of the posture. And then on an exhale, unwind. Little counter stretch to the opposite side. Come back to center. Unwrap that leg. Draw the right leg in. And lower down to the mat. Toes are touching, heels are touching. Let the knees fall away from one another as you come into supine bound angle. The heels can be as close up to the body or as far away as you need. Gravity gently draws the knees down. If this is too much on the hips, you could put a block underneath each leg or the hands there as some support. Each exhale can help you dive a little deeper. We'll take hands to the outer thighs as we help the knees back up. Let them rest on one another as you heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat, a small counter posture for breath. Heel toe the feet back to neutral. Right foot stays on the mat as we cross the left ankle over right thigh, creating a nice figure four. And maybe you stay right here. You could press on this leg a little bit. If you'd like to dive deeper, we'll weave the left hand through that little space between the legs. Grab behind right thigh or outside of right shin as you draw that leg in a little closer, creating a nice deep stretch through the left hip. our supine pigeon. We hold our pigeon a little longer than our other shapes. Nice time to focus in. Spine rests on the mat. The legs grow a little heavier as the hip opens up. Holding in stillness sometimes can be an invitation to the mind to wander off. And that's all right, but if it does, just gently draw it back in. Reconnect with the breath, your intention for class, the experience of the body in the shape. Many ways to keep the mind present with you. About 15 more seconds here. Give the right leg a little squeeze and then release our hold. Settle the right foot back to the mat. Gently unwind the left. Pause as you feel the sensations through the body, the difference between the two sides in this moment. We'll leave the left foot planted as we cross the right ankle over left thigh. That figure four. And again, check in here. Really see how the body's feeling. And if it would like to stay here today, honor that. The hip is looking for that deeper stretch. Weave the right hand through. Draw the left leg in. Come into supine pigeon. Keep the head and shoulders resting on the mat. Draw awareness to the right hip. Feel that connection out into the body. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. Full, steady breaths. Notice those places where you're holding tension. See if you can soften them a bit. Maybe that's in the toes or the feet. Maybe that's through the torso, the shoulders. All of the sensations out from the hip into the body. Mindful of how you're feeling. We'll take about 15 more seconds on this side.
left leg a little squeeze and release. Return the left foot to the mat. Unwind the right leg. Pause. We'll draw both knees into the chest. Full body hug. You could stay here. You could rock a little side to side. That might feel nice on the back body. If you're rocking, we'll slow it down. Find stillness. Give the legs a little squeeze and send them up. Our nice simple inversion. Our legs up the wall posture. Keep a little softness at the knees. Arms can rest at your side. You could leave them on the thighs for a little external support. It's a great posture to do before bedtime. Scooting near a wall and letting the feet rest there. With control, start to lower the legs down. Come into Shavasana, creating a little space between the feet. Bringing the arms to rest at your side, palms up. Close the eyes. You start to block out the exterior world and allow the practice to soak in. As we come to rest in Shavasana, each exhale helping us release. We'll take a little guided meditation, sending out kindness into the world, starting with ourselves. We'll check in, find that space in our heart, extend kindness to ourselves. Now reach out, imagining a loved one, someone you're close to, and extend them kindness as well. Allow the kindness to grow as you imagine someone who's kind of in the periphery of your life. Maybe you're not super close with them, but they're a friend or an acquaintance, and extend them kindness too. Let the kindness keep growing, extending your heart as you imagine someone that you maybe have conflict with. Maybe you've had a disagreement or you just can't see eye to eye. Extend your kindness to them as well. Everyone deserving of it. Keep growing your thoughts as you imagine your larger community, maybe a group of people who surround you. Maybe that's at work or through an organization you volunteer with. Imagine that group and send kindness out to each of them. Allow it to keep growing as you imagine your larger city, your town, made up of so many people from so many walks of life. And extend kindness out to all. Allow your light to shine. And draw your awareness back to heart center. Once more extending kindness to yourself, returning to the self as we sit here for a few moments, settling in, diving deeper. We'll invite in silence for the next few moments, sitting with ourselves and simply enjoying being. Quiet moment in a hectic day. I'll hold the space for you and let you know when it's time to come up. Stay in Shavasana as long as you like. But if you're ready, start to invite back in little movements. The wiggle of the toes or the hands. Maybe start to move the wrist and the ankles. And as you grow these movements larger, if you like, you can draw both knees into the chest, that full body hug. And maybe you rest right here. Or if you like, you could rotate over to a favorite side. Stack the hips and rest the head. And wherever you're at, we'll take a moment to thank the body for all that it has done for us today and all that it does for us every day. Offer the body support as you gently lift up. Flutter the eyes to let the light back in as you find a comfy seated spot. Bring hands together at heart center to seal in our practice. I encourage you to take kind thoughts, kind words, and kind intentions with you from now until we meet again. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our practice today. I hope you liked it, and I look forward to seeing you back on the mat next Monday. Bye, everyone.